Beast Pirates, your worst enemy has arrived. Straight out of the gate, I gotta say that this chapter was just the raw One Piece experience, almost bringing me back to the vibe of some pre-time skip arcs. This thing had a wonderful emotional curve, with a lot of hype at the beginning, comedy in the middle, and then a pure roller coaster of action, shock and pride, fear and relief at the end. I genuinely enjoyed every single page of this chapter. Oda really went full Game of Thrones with this, a song of ice and fire. Absolutely loved the fight between Big Mom and Marco, and the ending of this chapter was just something else entirely. If you haven't done so already, grab yourself a big cup of coffee, hit that subscribe button, lean back, and then let's jump right into the chapter 955 of One Piece. The only disappointment in this chapter for me was the first page. After last week, the eternal cover story of Beige and Chiffon finally came to an end. But against my hopes, it looks like for now we sadly won't be getting a new cover story about other events going on in the One Piece world. Instead, we see Luffy in a classroom with a teacher owl and the two squirrels from Thriller Bark. A really cute scene, yeah, but still, I was hoping for some Katakuri, or Reverie, or maybe even Caesar, but I'm sure that we'll be getting a new cover story soon enough. Now, the title of this chapter is Kunoichi no Chikai, the Kunoichi's Oath. As Oda often does with his title, this has two meanings in this case. On the one hand, it of course refers to Nami, who became a Kunoichi under Shinobu, and her incredible oath that Luffy will become Pirate King later in this chapter. I can't wait to talk about this one. But on the other hand, it also hints at Tama arriving at the scene, as she also aspires to become a Kunoichi, as we all know. Now, the chapter kicks off, in my opinion, almost as strongly as it ends, with a fantastic shot of Marco going head to head with Big Mom. As a quick side note here, I think this chapter was actually really strong in terms of power scaling. So we'll be actually talking a little bit about power scaling here and there. As I always say, it's not that I'm against power scaling per se, it's just that I feel like we need to see some amount of action first to do so. Marco, in any case, proves once again that there is really nothing and no one that can scare him, as he casually fights a Yonko. After we saw the two of them having a friendly chat the other chapter, it looks like he now made an active effort to block Big Mom from rejoining the battle, thus their fight. Interestingly enough, Marco's healing flames seem to be so special that they're actually able to deal damage to Prometheus, who is fire himself. The next moment, however, Big Mom simply catches Marco and holds him up for Perospero to shoot him with a bow made out of candy. I think that this actually works wonderfully for power scaling. Marco is strong, we know that, and he's able to actually stop Big Mom in her tracks for some time and make some trouble for her. But in the end, the Yonko isn't really phased much, and after a while easily overwhelms him. As Marco states himself, compared to the Straw Hats, he knows how strong and dangerous Big Mom truly is. And I think Oda actively includes us readers in this as well, telling us, hey, yes, this is also a Yonko here. Take her seriously. And the way that Big Mom rockets off towards the battlefield after this is just more proof of that abnormal strength. A great display of power differences, but also some great dialogue between these two parties. Also, we now know for sure that Zeus is with Big Mom, as we can see him knocked out under her. Then of course we have the return of Sulong Carrots and the introduction of Sulong Wanda, both of whom have simply fantastic designs. As you know, I'm a very big advocate for Yamato as the next Straw Hat, but seeing Carrot in her Sulong form again, I think there might maybe be more room on the Sunny after all. Also, Wanda looks absolutely beautifully dangerous here as well. Both of them completely destroy Perospero's face before he can shoot Marco, which is depicted pretty graphically, I feel. And in general, the arc seems to be getting more and more violent as the battle starts to heat. Also, imagine being Perospero, leaving behind your entire crew because they're useless, only to be completely useless yourself and being left behind by your captain again 5 minutes after reuniting. Carrot recognizes Marco as a comrade of Nekomamushi, and while the two Minks prepare to take on Perospero, Marco's attention is caught by screams coming from the live stage. There, the infection of the ice demon virus keeps spreading. We see Zoro and Drake chasing after Apu, who is attacking friends and foes alike, trying to get away. He barely escapes being cut by both of them by blocking their blades with some tonfa, but it looks like he's in real trouble now. It also speaks for the power of the supernova, however, that he was able to block both Zoro and Drake at the same time. These guys are all capable fighters. Meanwhile, we see Queen checking out the Straw Hats wanted posters for apparently the first time. Interestingly enough, he stops at Sanji's wanted poster as he sees the name, Windsmoke. Now, I might be completely wrong here, but I think it's very likely that Queen at some point has worked together with Judge Windsmoke and, who knows, maybe even Vegapunk. And I think the chances of Sanji fighting Queen have now grown again by a lot. Seeing Queen's technology clashing with the Germa technology would be really interesting to see, and I still think that it would be a great fight for Sanji as well. Meanwhile, we cut back to the rest of the Straw Hats. Brook has now also been infected by the virus, but since he doesn't have any flesh or blood, he obviously can't transform, which makes for a pretty hilarious moment there. Chopper, however, who might be the only one in the room capable of reproducing the vaccine, has been infected as well. Now, this, I believe, is actually pretty awesome. Because the first thing I thought when I saw this was Monster Point Ice Demon Chopper. I really hope that he somehow manages to hold on to that newly found power even after he has cured it, so he gets his much deserved power up after the time skip. How cool would that be? After embracing his inner snow monster, he becomes an even scarier one. Please make it happen, Oda. Now, one thing I'm also wondering is whether Marco might in the end be the one to cure everyone in the hall. After all, he's a doctor as well, plus he has flames with healing powers. So in my opinion at least, he is the absolute best qualified candidate right now to counter the Ice Demon virus. What do you guys think about that? Now, however, let's move on to the final part of this chapter that still has me all riled up. Since King has contacted all of the Flying Six in the last chapter to kill Momo, I was a little bit worried that Usopp Nami versus Ulti Page 1 might not happen. But oh, how wrong I was. We cut right into the final phase of what looks to have been a brutal battle. Usopp is already heavily wounded, having lost a couple of teeth, while Nami lies on the floor, beaten and heavily bleeding. Not having Zeus with her anymore was probably a heavy disadvantage in this fight for her. But man, seeing Nami like this hurts. It's been quite a while since we last saw Nami being all battered and bloodied up like this. Oda really ain't messing around. First with Kiku losing her arm, and now in this chapter, Perospero and Nami. And of course, Usopp, who actually is doing pretty well here against two of the Flying Six. He captures Ulti in his Midori Boshi devil plant and is about to dissolve her when Page 1 manages to separate the plant in the last moment, to which Usopp impales him with another attack of bamboo. Ulti, however, uses that as a distraction and comes charging in at Usopp, who already knows that it's too late for him now, and she headbutts him just as she did with Luffy, only that Usopp has no armament haki. And so as a result, we get a terribly looking, very detailed panel of his skull cracking. A throwback to when he fought Mr. Four and Miss Merry Christmas in Alabasta, I think. Brutal moment right here. Of course, Usopp isn't dead yet, but I would say that he's out for good for this fight and is in dire need of medical attention. Maybe an alternative job for Marco as well. He might just have to spam heal everyone on Onigashima at this point. Ulti, meanwhile, shifts her attention to the terrified Nami. She picks her up and tells her about Luffy challenging Kaido and declaring that he will be Pirate King. She offers Nami that she will spare her life under the condition that she declares that Luffy will not become Pirate King. Nami is fully aware that Luffy won't come to save her, and that Ulti is quite serious about killing her. Usopp, who's barely conscious at this point, even thinks to himself that she should just lie and save her life. And despite all that, despite the easy way out and her about to be killed, through the tears and blood streaming down her face, she still shouted that Luffy will become Pirate King with full conviction. This isn't Enel or Lucci, this is Kaido. And she did it anyway, fully prepared to die. I was honestly tearing up a little bit when I read this. What a powerful moment for Nami, but also for Usopp. As I said in the beginning, this chapter has really strong One Piece vibes. Now, the great finale to this chapter is Tama, who in the last moment appears with the big lion dog that we know from I think the very first chapter of Wano, who simply bites on Ulti's head, who drops the shocked Nami. Finally, the Queen of Beasts has arrived. The Beast Pirates are doomed now. Their absolutely worst nightmare has joined the war. But all jokes aside, I think that Tama arriving at the scene is a pretty big game changer. I think we'll find out pretty soon whether or not her powers actually work on zone fruits, but honestly, I see absolutely no reason at all why they shouldn't. If they work on real animals and the fake zone fruits, why not on zone fruits as well? And so, as we all expected, Tama will become a central piece in this war, one way or another. Now, all I want to see really is for Usopp to shoot a Kibidango at one of the Flying Six and turn them into an ally. The hype is real, at least for me. And what a perfect ending to this more than perfect chapter. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave me a comment with your thoughts on this One Piece greatness. Thanks guys. Peace.